odds are you probably see your mind as an attic or a database. But what if it was an arrow to be let free, or a fire to be kindled, or, an X to put on a tic-tac-toe board? Okay. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets. Weekend edition with me, your host Marcus. On today's episode, we're going to talk about thinking. Think every day in every way, okay? There's so much going on around you right now. Whether it be there's people you're talking to, people you're working for if you're self-employed, or due dates you have to meet. And thinking is going to help you in so many ways. On previous episodes, I've talked about how thinking truncates, it shortens. If you're thinking, how long? Okay, I got to get this thing done. It's good to get it done in your head first. As Jim Rohn said, he's a great motivational speaker. He said, don't start the day until it's finished. Maybe that's a good idea to apply if you have a project or something you got to get done at work. Don't start it until it's finished. And you can finish it in your mind. Remember, blueprints come before buildings. Okay, the same way you have to see something in your mind before you hold it in your hands. I just want to get you to just consider that. But other ways to think are like, think sequentially. Think about, okay, what am I going to do and what order am I going to do it? Think about, being geographically task conscious. Okay, if you have to go to the grocery store, get your haircut, find a way where you can do it all in one thing. I've talked about this before. It's so important because thinking is going to help you get to where you want to go. And I made a video before called The Thinker Wins. Okay, but so now this is about comprehensive thought, thinking all day, every day about everything. Okay, right now I'm thinking about what should I put in this YouTube video? What's relevant, what's not just a database. Okay, let me, like, for example, when I use a word that's been on my mind a lot recently is the word stultification. Okay, are you feeling stultified in your life? That means are you bored, and do you lack the enthusiasm you originally had because you're doing the same things over and over again? That's stultification. Okay, and it's easy to get stultified, but what helps me is to look towards the future, understand there's a reward at the end. There's a recompense for all the pain and suffering you're going through. Okay, and now you got to go through the wilderness to get to the promised land, but I want you to think about the future. Think about the present. They both matter, okay? Every day I try to think about, okay, what am I doing that's going to create the future I want, but also getting things done in the present moment. Because remember, if there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. Okay, remember that. There's hope in the future, there's power in the present. So always, 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 always think about everything. But the problem is a lot of us don't think about anything, and that's a huge problem. We just kind of wade into life. But when you think, your mind can be like a razor's edge and kind of cut to the things, and get to the point on things. But thinking allows you to be successfully self-employed. Thinking is going to help you to elevate above your circumstance. I've talked about before on previous episodes, like, you got to think above your circumstances. This is kind of a compendium of everything I've been discussing around the aspect of thinking, because thinking creates your life, okay? Especially the law of cause and effect. That's called the law of laws, meaning it's in the book As a Man Think, he talks about think often upon the law upon which your being is established. That's a very profound thing to think about. That as you sit here watching this video, your mind is somewhere creating something. Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? Your thoughts are going to dictate that, because thoughts lead to actions. Okay, so if you want good things to happen, start thinking about possibilities. A lot of us just see problems. What are the possibilities, or what is the future? If you think about the future, you're going to be motivated. Other things I think about is I try to think about things I'm not thinking about. Like, for example, one thing I'm not thinking about is my effect on other people. You think, okay, it could just be anything you want. You can just have some generic output or perspective of what you think you're doing to someone else, and it's not what you think it is. What other things are you not thinking about? Are you not considering in your mind? Are you considering what you're doing, what you're not doing? Because thinking is going to help you progress. If you don't think, you're going to be in a bad spot. But a lot of us, we don't think. I grew up in a family that we didn't really put an emphasis on, thinking or critical thinking or thinking out on your own. It was just more kind of do what everybody else is doing. And I decided I didn't want that. I read a book one time where it said, think for yourself. And a lot of us, we don't really have original thoughts, including myself, and that's something we all got to get better at. And there's no surprise today. The surprise is that you've got something incredible between your ears, but it's taken for granted because it's been given to us freely. Okay. I became self-employed because of a thought. Things are perpetuating, things are growing because of thoughts. The more thinking I put into something, the more likely it is to happen. And that's the same with you. And so really just think on your goals instead of thinking on, the obstacles. Okay, this is, I want this video to be a Christmas tree with ornaments on it. The Christmas tree is the constant thing, is that thinking creates your life, but the ornaments are, you are where your thoughts are. Make sure your thoughts are where you want to be, or think about the future and think about the past at the same time. Just different elements and nuggets that go on that general purpose, that your thinking really matters. A lot of us don't think it matters. Think about things you don't think about. That's really profound. What things are you not thinking about right now? Are you thinking about the unintended consequences of decisions you make? Every decision has an unintended consequence. So the point of this video is think all day, every day, about everything. Constantly just kind of sitting in your mind, playing mental ping pong, bouncing your thoughts off the walls of your brain, thinking, how can we make things better? How can we grow from last year? What can we learn from other people? Or what can we do the opposite? They say, if you want to be successful in life, learn from a wise man, or don't copy an unsuccessful man or an unwise man. So copy a person you think is someone you can look up to, and don't copy someone you don't look up to. But basically, the simplest rule of success is look at what everybody else is doing, do the exact opposite. Most people are not thinking. They're not really sitting down and thinking about what's happening in my life, why is it happening, and how can I make it better. That's just my experience. So I just want to kind of give you some tips today, kind of give you something to think about. But remember, lastly, as always, unsuccessful people that make decisions based on their current situation. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing historically and getting the same results, but successful people, you make decisions based on where you want to be. Thinking is creating the future that you're going to have, 6 months from now, 10 months from now. So make sure you're thinking and not just, drifting in the wind, okay? Thank you so much.